Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. So this is for the entire public. Just to let you know, this video would be on YouTube. So if you like it, if you watch it and you like it, please share it. If you're watching it for the very first time, you can go watch some more of my videos on YouTube and you will have an idea of the concept we're using. It's called wave analysis, using pattern precision to determine where the next possible move is going to be. So let's start. I'm on the CAD this morning because there's an active trade that we are going to be in right now. I have an entry order here. I'm expecting that trade to go beyond this point. So I'm expecting this to come lower than that. And we are in a bigger structure on the CAD. We're in this structure. This is the 4-hour structure. So it could come back this way, and then we'll see whether we go back up or whether we come back to retest the low. Both of those possibilities exist. I do believe if we're going to go test the low, we'll first go back up here and then come down. You can see if you look at this move, they came down, went back, then come. They came down, went back, then come, right? They came down, went back, then come. So this would be a very short trade. It's a short trade down, and then probably we'll exit the trade and look for the upside. I'm only targeting most likely like this move down here, which is I'm targeting some move back to the low here. First break this low and then see how far that goes before we go back up and then downside, if they're going to go down. At that point, we will know if this is a flat for upside. But right now, there's a sell setup on it. So you can go for it. I'm going for that trade. I'm not making any trade call to anybody. I'm telling you what I would do, right? It's a very nice trade. It's probably going to give you 2 to 1, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Let's go. If it goes, of course. If it doesn't go, we will manage the trade. We were buying CAD up. If you remember, we were buying CAD. We bought CAD here. We bought a few trades up. On the last trade yesterday, we closed for slight positive. And we're managing this piece to see whether, how we get trades into it. And we're monitoring whether this is going to be a bigger consolidation here for upside. Break the top. Are we going to go back down, or are we going to break out of the structure? Basically, that's what we're looking for in the CAD. Dollar index. Dollar index broke the top. It was an up trade. You got to be careful here now. So we're looking at 2 things right now at this point. At this point, if you look at the bigger dollar index, let me go back to the daily because this is very important. At this point, you can look at this is the structure we're in. Very often, and you might have seen this in all my webinars already, very often we expect them to come break the low and then go back there. It will come here. There's a 99% chance we will go back to the upside to this stop here. So the question is it going from here, or are we going from this point? That's the only question you have. Now, if you look back in the past with this impulse coming down, that's the first impulse. This is the correction going up. So if you look at the first impulse coming down, we had a deep pullback here and then we dropped. This pullback, I think, was about 500 pips. If I can remember, we measured that this morning. This was about 396 pips. Well, this one is not that much as yet. This one is only 200, about 300. So there's still about 90 something, 60 something pips to go, right? 320. So there's about 60 pips to go to be equal to that. And it could get bigger or smaller. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you that there have been deep pullbacks before they drop. So this by itself is not confirming the upside as yet. It's just telling us we're getting a pullback within this impulse for probably one more down. So you're going to say, well, how do you know which one is going to be, right? If you're a trader, your question should be naturally, okay, how do we know if it's going to have a sell or a buy? Well, you don't have to know that at the present moment. You will look at the structures and you take the trade as they come. So this was a buy trade for us. See that buy there? You should be out of that buy already because on the 4-hour, it starts to consolidate. So if you bought that yesterday, like I said, you can buy. We probably bought lower in here, which is if you're in my group at the moment, we're trading and trading, you get a better advantage in looking at the setups and decide where you're going to get in the trade. But if I'm putting out on YouTube, which is, I don't know when you will see it, this is the correction. You have to be above the correction. I think you should be out of that trade because there's a chance we can come back to this level here. We might end up with a bigger flat pattern looking like this and then up, or we could be totally going down. So which one is it? Well, it doesn't matter because both of them have a possibility of coming back here. So you can look for a sell setup. So you will say, well, okay, if you think you're getting a sell, what are the chances this just continues to go? Well, it's easy. Just go to the 1-hour. If you think this is going to go back up, put an entry order to buy here with a stop here. Why? Because that would be a running flat. If we go back up, this would be a running flat. It will come here and then go back up. right? That would be a running flat pattern. I'll have to show you that pattern in the 15 minutes. So we've got to move down. You can either look at this as a contracting flat. This is the top of the move. If you get a flag set up here in the 1 hour, not the 15 minutes, if you get a 1 hour sell, you can go for that sell. The 15 minutes is going to come, but it's just going to do this and go back up. So if the 15 minutes fall, all we can expect is they might do this, and this might be a running flat. And you can go back up. Well, if you're going to get a buy, put an entry order to buy it. It's pretty easy. Put an entry order. Sorry, this is what we would do. This is what I would do, is I put an entry order here to buy. And if they come here and go back up, I'll be in that trade. See? It's pretty easy. That's not complicated. What if they're not going to go back up? Well, this is where the complication comes. I want to see this comes down, and I want to see it actually goes lower than this level so that I can negate the possibility for a running flat. And then I want to see a correction here to confirm that I'm going to get a next impulse down. And that's my sell setup. So the sell setup, if it's going to happen, is going to happen in the next 6, 7, 8 hours from now. The buy setup, if it's going to happen, you put the buy. It could happen within a minute, within an hour or so. So by the time you get this webinar out, that buy setup might be gone if it's a buy. But if it's a sell, you will still get it by the end of the day tomorrow. And one of the things I want to ask you guys to do, if you like my work and if you're watching it, is you need to watch it as early as possible, because most of the setups I put, the next day or the day after, these are the daily webinars. These are daily updates. The next day or the other day, it's not valid anymore. Structural change will be in the charts, right? So even if you get the buy, that buy could come here, break the top, and come back down today, which means we would be in and out of that trade, and we might be in the sell already by the time you get this webinar, if you're watching it tomorrow. So you may say, he says the buy, but it's going down, right? So remember, these are daily webinars. These are daily trade setups for the day. Look at the date of the webinar, so you would know. You can go back and track the date and see whether that was a valid trade. That's what you need to do. And please share it to people you know. There are thousands of traders out there who have not seen my video, who would love to see this stuff, because it will help them understand patterns. It's helping you. It's going to help them. So please find, I know it's very tough for you to do, but please find a minute to go share it with a trading friend, a trading buddy, and ask him to share it with another buddy, right? So if they don't like it, that's it. They will not watch it. But if you like it and you're getting value, keep watching. I will put these out until the end of the week, and then next week you'll start getting the weekly again, right? So let's go. Watch that. I think we're going to probably go down. That's my thought process based on everything else that I see. But there's a chance for one more up, which means we will get a buy setup at the top there. Gold. This is the pattern we have. Remember, we said this was going to be likely a running flat, and we'll break this top and then go down. Well, we didn't break the top. Now, it's not necessary that you break the top for running flat. But if you don't break the top, what is necessary is you have to follow with a very sharp impulse to the downside, which didn't happen. So that means we're still in correction. You're making a more complex correction, and this is where corrections become more complex. This would become 1, 2, 3. Now there's a chance that we're going to drop here. You see, I already have an entry order for a sell there. There's a chance we're going to drop to this level, go back up there, and come back down. This might be the first flat pattern, and then we're going to have another one up and another one down. This will complete the entire flat pattern in here. And then we're likely going to go up, after which we either take off to the upside totally or we come back down. Now, that would depend. It has a lot. By the time we get there, we'll make that decision. But at the moment, we don't have that. The moment now, this looks very much downside. See? There's a possibility that we can drop. This is very corrective looking in nature. See this piece? So there's a chance we can drop through this to one low. Only one low. I only think we will break that low. I don't think we're going to go through. If we go through, good luck for all of us. But I don't think we're going to go through. I think we will probably drop to this level and go right back up. That is because of the way the patterns are structured and the pattern that I am specifically looking at. Now, if I'm wrong and this is the top of that correction, and this is a short impulse, which could happen, and you have 1, 2, 3, then this is going to drop to the bottom. Normally, it's followed by a sharp impulse down. It's not followed by so much correction. But if I'm wrong, it's going to drop to the bottom, and I'll be very happy about being wrong because I'm going to be in the sell. If I'm right about it, they might just do this and go up. What are the chances they don't even come to the bottom here? They just take off. Well, there's a very slight chance that this could take off. It could, but there's a slight chance. Mostly when you see this, you're thinking they're going to come here and then go. So let's see which one. I don't have a buy setup in it right now. I have a sell setup. If that doesn't happen, then I would look for the buy setup and the structure changes and I see a different pattern in it. Right now, I'm looking for a sell. Silver, pretty much the same thing. I think silver will go up a little more. We dropped to this level. There's a chance silver might consolidate here a while more. And if I see it, I'm looking for a bigger consolidation in this range. I'm looking for a consolidation that might be like this level before we go. If we don't get that, there's a chance we could come back and retest the top. Right? We might come. Two things I'm looking for in this pattern is one is silver could come and retest this top. I doubt it would, but there's a possibility for them to do that. We would look at this pattern here. That is one possibility. The second possibility is we'll just consolidate and make a bigger consolidation here and then drop. I don't think silver is going to drop here now. Now, I do believe silver can go and test this low. Here, we are expecting that to happen. But right now, we might get a bigger consolidation there because it actually broke the low. There are many reasons for that. I'm not going to go into all the details. We broke the low and we reversed it. So probably let's give it some time. Let's see if we get a consolidation here. And if we get this, we're going to be selling it. That will take a while. A sell setup here, no, I don't think it's a good idea. Not as it looks right now. Structurally, it doesn't support that. Sell the gold. Euro. So again, euro has a similar structure. We're looking at the same thing like the dollar index, right? We're wondering whether euro will break that top before it comes down. Euro had a deep pullback here. See this deep pullback here, very deep. We're pretty much in that one. So either we go up now, test that up, and then come down, or we consolidate here and keep dropping. All right, which one? I don't know which one. Both patterns are valid, a contracting flat or regular flat. Both are valid patterns that exist. So you wait for confirmation of either. What will be the confirmation for the sell? There is a small running flat possibly forming there. You can put your entry order to sell here. If we're correct about that, we're going to drop lower today, just like we dropped yesterday and dropped the day before. All right, so you're going to drop lower. Let's go into 1 hour. So this would be the running flat if it is a running flat. That is come to this level and then drop. What if it is not a running flat? What if this was a contracting flat and we are literally trying to go up? Well, then I would wait for a flag. This is a very small one. I want to see a bigger flag. I want to see something like this. And if instead of going down, we get that, we'll be in the buy. Right? I will go with a contracting flat here. I don't like contracting flats. But we'll go with the contracting flat here, and then we'll be looking for the buy setup. What would the buy setup be? How far would the buy go? Well, we're targeting two things. First, we're targeting this stop. If this goes up, we're looking at this stop here for a bigger running flat. That is one option. And then probably fall. If it is not a bigger running flat and we are going back to the very top of the daily, then all we would do is make consolidations and go, consolidations and go. So if you're buying and you keep getting consolidations, you just keep buying. And that is why we do daily webinars, because we will update this during the day, right? So I'm doing the daily webinar now, and then we will go in our trading room, and we'll be in the trading room 3 or 4 times a day. We have Asian sessions, London sessions, at least 2 London sessions, and we have 2 New York sessions. So you get the chart updated on an hourly basis, which means if there's a change in structure, we will know. What if this triggers? What if this triggers? We don't know that it goes all of that. This is a very small one. That trigger might just break the low and go back up. By that time, we would close this trade, either for break even or for a small profit. And then we would be actually looking at the buy setup to the upside today, which means both of those can happen, the sell and the buy. So how would you know about that? Well, you might know about that only tomorrow. So let's see. Let's go. By the way, if you want to continue having the daily webinar, send me a Skype message. I'll give you all the instructions how you can get it. Pong actually broke out, so we're going with this pattern for now, that flat, and we're looking at 2 patterns here on the daily. And if you didn't believe me that this was going to come down and give you that sharp move there, go back and watch all my webinars starting from somewhere when I started doing the free webinars. I think it was the 18th of January when I started doing them, right? The daily webinars. You'd see this is going to come down and give you this one. Well, we're going for that one now. I think we have about a move more down. That might be enough. And then 2 things you look for. Either we go back and retest the top, or it just continues to fall. If this one belongs to these, then we are just going to continue to fall. So the question is, how would you know which one? You don't have to know which one of that right now. You just have to sell when you get a sell setup, and then we will see where it goes. So do we have a sell setup here today? I think we're making a sell setup right now. We're kind of making a flat here right now. I believe this might just go a little more up here, and that would be a perfect flat for a sell. But if they break from this level, we will still sell it. If it breaks from that level, we're looking for a sell. The only thing, if they break from this level, I'll be very careful, because if they break from that level, we might end up with something like this, make a running flat, and then go. So you would have to keep your stop a little higher. Let's see how it goes. Can this be the start of the upside? I doubt it. This is most like this structurally, this looks more downside than upside. It doesn't have a reversal point like the euro has. So I think euro might be making a running flat there as well. Aussie, we're looking for a flat pattern and more downside. So yesterday I was telling you want more consolidation in the Aussie to go. Well, I think we might be making something like this. 1, 2, 3, right? We've got a 1, we've got a 2, and we're trying. I don't know if that is enough for the 3. It could be. If it's enough, put your entry order to sell there with a stop above the top. That's what I'm doing, right? Just like we did on this one. Remember this one, what I told you when it was going up? Let it go up, put your entry order. If it's a running flat, it's going to drop. We actually took it from here. Some of us took it from there, right? Depends on where you get the entry. Don't take this entry, because this one is not confirming that running flat is yet. It could still go up some more and then come down. If it drops through there, well, you should be in the trade here. You should have a stop there, and then we'll see how far it goes. If it goes as we expected, then we should have an impulse about this size to the downside, because you got this impulse and you probably get an impulse like that. Hopefully, maybe a bigger one. We'll see, right? That is the plan. So I think this is making a flat, and I think we're going to be going down. I don't think we're going up. I think we'll be looking at a possible running flat. I don't know whether this is the start of it. We take that out. I don't know whether that is the start of it, or whether we're going to go up one more. On the 15, this was looking like a small flag for upside, but it's already breaking out. Right? I thought this would probably do this and then come down, but it's already breaking, so we might be looking for sells. I wouldn't be selling it in here, not until we break that low. And then we would go with this running flat. See? That running flat for the downside. So for now, let's see if we're breaking out of that. I'll leave this as it is. New Zealand, perfect. But it would be good if it goes up just slightly above this stop before we go down. Because then we're now looking at a possible contracting flat. See that? 1, I'll go with 2 here, and I'll go 3 there. That's a contracting flat. Contracting flats are dangerous because they can become running flats, which means if we get the trade here, this thing could come here, come back right back to the top, and then drop, giving us a running flat pattern, which I don't like, because you see, you have to live through all of this again with your stop here or your stop here. And that's not a good idea. You might not get break even. If they go now and break the top and then come, that's a perfect trade setup. But we can go with the contracting flat as well. I'm looking for more downside on this one. I'll try to update the New Zealand and the New Zealand Yen later. But that's a sell setup, just like this was a sell setup we told you, right? Remember this one? Go there, put your entry order, put your stop, wait for that trade. Well, we're getting a similar one here. Now, I'm not sure this one is going to go, because this might just come here and start to go back up. You'll have to manage the trade, right? Or it might come like this and start to go back for a much bigger correction like that. That is possible. So this last piece down here, get the maximum you can get out of it by moving your stops when it starts, if and when it starts to go, right? Because once they do that, they might go for a deeper correction, either a bigger one like this or a bigger one like this. How far they're going to go, it's anybody's guess. Normally we go for the 2.7, but we'll see, right? So that's your trade setup for the day. That's the trade we're looking for. CAD, I already showed you that I have an entry order here because I think this is consolidating. I think this is making some kind of a consolidation. I'm expecting it to come to this level. And then from there, we'll see like this one. See? It dropped to this level. I expect this to drop to that level. And then we'll see what happens if we're going to go back up from this point, or if we're going to continue to go down. So I am putting an entry order for that. I'm not tagged in the traders yet. Surprising, but I will be tagged very soon. My entry is probably slightly lower than where that wick is. So you can put it slightly like this. All right, that's the entry. I'm still not in it. And wait for that trade if it happens. Like you would have, this is a very short trade, very quick. If it come, they come here and they start to go back up, we will get out of this trade and we will be looking for the buy to the top here. And then from there, either they break out or they come down. Can this continue to drop? Yeah, well, if it continues to drop, we're in the sell. So we just move this stop and let it go. Swiss is making a consolidation. You can see that consolidation for upside. And we're not selling this. We're not interfering with this. Let it come here, and it's probably going to do a few more of this. And then you can get the buy set up. Once we see this, we're going for the buy. I don't think it's going to break out now. I don't think it's going to fall. I believe we'll consolidate to the top there, and then we'll continue to go some more. So we'll probably get, like we had this one here come. It didn't break the low, but it started to go up. And then if you get a consolidation here, you go up more. This would be all the correction we have. So let's go. Keep an eye on that consolidation for a bicep. That is likely going to happen maybe tomorrow or even till next week. They can stay in that consolidation for a while. Yen. Okay, so this is what we have on the yen. The question is this the one that is going to take off to the upside? And I don't think so. I already said yesterday that this looks very corrective, which means I think we're going to go back up like this. We'll probably come down back here, and then we're going to go. But you can start to look for buy setups in here. I was in the buy yesterday already. It was late in the evening. It was going down back, so I put it to break even. I got taken out for break even. I got in the buy here. This took me out for break even. Well, this was going to pull back a little, or it's going to consolidate here, and then we will buy this to the top here. I hope today that happens early, so it's not going to be late. We'll put it to break even, and if they come back down, we buy from the bottom again, right? Why I'm keeping the trade? Because I think this trade has potential to go all the way to the top here. Let me show you that pattern very quick. I think potentially this, after this consolidation, maybe in the daily you'll see it, yeah. After this little consolidation here, we're going to go to the top here. This is the trade we're looking for. So yesterday's break even is nothing compared to what we're looking for, right? That is why I'll put all the buy setups to break even until that trade goes. And when it goes there, then we will see whether they're going to go down back or whether they'll continue to go. But by that time, you'll have a bigger consolidation. So look for your buy setups. That's a trade. Look for the buy setup in here today. We don't have a setup right now, but if they pull back, we'll get a nice trade to the upside. If they consolidate here, we'll get a trade to the upside. Whichever will be a trade to the upside. Aussie Yen, it's consolidating. We have a running flat here, but they're consolidating here. So there's a chance that we might go one more lower. Right? When you start to see this kind of a consolidation here, it might drop one lower and then go. This pattern will go up. I'm not very interested in the sell. I'm interested in a buy setup. We don't have a buy setup right now. We had one yesterday that became a break-even trade. And now it's kind of consolidating here. Putting an entry above the top here is not a good idea because we have 3 sharp waves, so we'll wait some more. If it breaks the top and make a flag like this, then we will start to buy, right? Because putting an entry at the top there is really, really dangerous as it stands right now. I think there's a good chance that this is just going to break the top and come back here. Maybe even make some more consolidation, come here, and then go back up. But that pattern will go up. So would we take this sell? I don't think I'll sell the dollar, the Aussie dollar, not this one, right? Because this pattern eventually goes up. Pangos, we're in a sideways move. So we'll see what happens at this point. Right now, they're just going sideways. They're consolidating. I can see the consolidation going on here. We might get one more upside. And then I'm looking at this pattern. Come there, come back down here for this one. After which, 2 things happen. You either go back up like this, or you drop lower. I think we're going to go back up. I think when that happens, we're going to go back up. Once we get this flat out of the way, let me just take this top one so it doesn't disturb you. Let's take off this one so it wouldn't confuse you with what we're looking at. I think once this flat is over, which is come here, come back here, we're going to go to the top there, and then the downside starts. So this would be a big flat of its own. See that? This was a bigger flat here. See that bigger flat there? This was an up move. You had a smaller version of that same similar flat here. You've got an up move. You've got a 1, 2, 3 down. You can go with a simple one like this. And this one should probably take us to this top. So we will get a sell setup here. We'll get a buy setup, and then we'll see where the trade goes. So let's go on the 1 hour. 1 hour, we don't have the sell set up. We don't have the buy set up as yet. I think they're probably going to go one more up. It doesn't have to, but it could go one more up here. Break that up and then come down. So we probably wait until that finish and look for the sell set up here to the downside. If we get a sell here, it will be worth taking the trade as well. But I don't think we'll get the sell here. I think we'll go up to the top first. There's no buy setup as well. You have no buy setup, no sell setup. This could just go. If that is going to go, you'd have to wait for a flag. So if this continues to go, wait for a flag somewhere here and then buy it. That would be only one short impulse to the upside and then totally downside. So be very careful. New Zealand yen. Look for your sell setup. I'll follow with the updates on this. There's a short sell forming here, a short-term sell. It's going to probably, excuse me, it's going to probably do this, and then we will start the upside. So if you're going to take this trade, you'll have to monitor it very, very close. It might not be a very big trade to the downside. If you're lucky, it is, but the chances are it might just break the low. You're going to have divergence. You know, this is going to consolidate here, drop here, break that low. I mean, go a little bit. You can still get some profit out of it and then turn to the upside. So be careful if you're going to take the trade. Monitor it very carefully. There is a sell setup right now. You're getting a flat, but you can't sell it right now. You have to wait for it to break out. Confirm that we're breaking out. Confirm they're breaking out of that structure, and then you get a sell setup there. All right. CAD yen. CAD yen looks downside, and they pull back quite a lot here. It's pulled back quite a lot, so we might probably come here. We're in a flat pattern. It's either they're going to drop through or they'll go back up and come back here again. So we're either going to make a complex pattern or we're making a simple pattern. Look for sell setups. As a matter of fact, you can look for sell setups higher, not at the bottom, but at a higher point. We don't have a sell setup right now. But if this starts to come down, we can look for a sell from this point until it comes back to the low. There's a chance we break out, or there's a chance we go back up. They go back up, you get break even, you look for a sell again. Right? Just depends on how the patterns plays out. They can consolidate more, they can just break out to the bottom. I'm looking for a sell setup, not a buy. Swiss yen. Okay, this one you can look for a buy because I think this one is more of a 1. We've got a 2 and we're getting a 3. So if we get a buy setup here today, we'll go for it. I think that could go up higher. See, because it's already turning and we don't have a buy setup though. We'll have to wait for it. And that means it can go. I don't know whether this is going to go lower. If it is going to go lower, you will not get a buy setup here. They'll come back here and start to do this. And if we get this, we'll sell. But most likely, if you get a flag at the top there, you're looking for a buy. And by flag, I think you know what I mean, right? If you're trading this for a while, you're looking for something that goes sideways and look for the upside. Aussie Swiss. Okay, we have, this is a very complex pattern. So there are at least more than one possibility of way of looking at this. If you want to look at this as a contracting flat, if you want to look at this as a 1, 2, 3, that means somewhere in here, this would likely break the low and go back up to the top there. So we're looking for buy setups on this. That will be this move up. And then we will look for the sell setups back down here. So when you're at the bottom here, we were selling this coming down. Now you start to look for the buy setup. We don't have a buy setup in it. See, we don't have a buy setup. This was a buy yesterday. It didn't go down. Should have closed to break even. And it's kind of consolidating here. So we might drop a little more. I don't see this here as a flat. It could be that's a flat. So they might drop here and start going up. Wait until it turns and give you a buy setup. There's a short-term sell. Don't sell this again. Sell the Aussie dollar. Why sell this? We don't know how far this is going to go. We know Aussie dollar can go, right? So rather sell the Aussie dollar. Aussie CAD, this might even be a better sell. Let's see in the daily where this is going. Okay, this could be a deeper pullback starting. This could be a much deeper pullback because I think this is a flat of its own. So this is the first impulse of a much deeper correction in play. Can it go back all the way to the low? I think that is rare, but it's possible. So this was a sell yesterday. If you get a consolidation here, sell again, right? Wait for a flag and then sell again. We don't have any sell setup now, that's gone. So wait for a flag. They're making some consolidation here. See, there's kind of going sideways. Wait for this and then go for the sell. Let's see in the 1 hour what it has. Nothing. You can't sell that simple, that one wave up. We want it to come back here. This might be a little running flat, but I would not sell it. I'll wait for this to make a bigger consolidation and then go for the sell. Aussie, New Zealand. So it came down. We spoke about this yesterday. Once this go up that high, you're looking for a running flat here possible. So this could still go break the top and then come back. I'll be very careful of the sell now. We're looking for this move down. See that move there? Can it go down from this point? I think that is rare. We didn't break the top, right? We didn't break that top. So it can go, but that would be kind of a rare pattern. It's not the best sell setup right now. So wait for it and let's see if we get a good sell setup later on. If they make a flag here, if this stays here as a flag, yep, then that will become a good sell. If they don't go back and break it up. As a matter of fact, if it goes break the top and then turn, if you break that top and then turn, that's a better trade setup. EuroCAD, look for a sell. You're getting a sell setup here, one more drop. They might break this low because you were in that correction there, see? And it drops, pull back, drop, maybe pull back, maybe drop again, right? So we're going down to break this low, and we'll probably go lower. Yes, that could go lower. We broke out of this. Let's see the 4 hour. Okay, we broke out of that pattern as well. Take that out. And we're in the bigger picture. Yeah, you could go a little lower. I could see this going a little lower and then upside. It will go up. It's just a matter of how far this goes before we go up. Because we're in a correction to the downside. So one more drop there is very possible. Euro, New Zealand. Wait for a buy setup. I think we're consolidating here. We might get one more up. So if they stay there, we get one more up consolidation, and then we'll see when it gets to the top there. Remember what we said. When it gets to the top there, we're going to expect it to come back down. So yesterday or the day before, you would see me having two options. One option is this. One option is coming and break this top and go back down, because this was a big correction. Normally, when you get a big correction like that, they don't go all the way to the top. But since it moved that much, I think, and we're consolidating here, the chance we will do this and then go down. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Yes, let's go. So watch for this. I think that's a good trade. We can get that trade today probably because they've consolidated here quite a lot already. There's a lot of consolidation going on here. And that means that trade might go today, right? Especially if it comes back here, come down here, and then take off. That would be a good trade. Let's see. Euro Yen. So we are now at the bottom of that structure. And let's look for the buy setup. Right now, you don't have a buy setup. You have a small flag here, which means that they can drop one more. But if they drop one more, we'll ignore the sell, and then we'll start to look for the buy once they break the low. Once they break the low, they can turn, and then we will look for the buy setup. Euro Swiss, look for a buy setup. It's going sideways there. Can it drop lower? Let's see in the 1 hour. Yes, they can come lower. This looks upside to me. So let's see, we can stay with the buy for now. If this comes back down here and stay here, if it doesn't go now, but it stays here, then the chances are they might come back and retest the low. The sell is not such an interesting one, but the buy is quite interesting because the impulse to the upside is very big. So the impulse to the upside is a better trade. Let's see. If it comes down back, we'll break the low again. If they come back here, we'll probably just break this low and then go right back up again. We don't have the sell setup in it as yet. It's mostly a buy setup. Euro Oz, we're going up. We'll get at least one more move up, and then we're going to come down, right? So we're making this move up. We told you about that you're going to get that move up, and we're already in it. You're getting a correction here. Then we're looking for that move there. After which, at this point, we're expecting it to go down. So let's see when it gets there, what happened. Look for buy setups. We don't have a buy setup here as yet. Right, it's possible they're forming now. They're kind of going sideways. Might stay here for a while, and then we'll get this straight to the upside. Euro pound, it's going up, and then you're going to come down too, because we have a very similar one like the euro. See that euro, that sharp move there? That sharp move there, we're going to it. We have the same thing in the euro pound. This sharp move here, and we're going up to that sharp move. So this looks like a small sell, come back here and then go. See? You're in a corrective structure there, let it come back, and then you're looking for that trade to the upside. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, it looks like a sell setup. This piece looks like they're going to come back down. See, they're going to drop here, and you might drop lower even. Look at this. And then look for the buy setup. It might be a little more complex than that, which means they could come here, come back up here, come down here, and then go. So you're going to be in a sideways move and then wait for your setup before you get the trade. Francat, we're looking for a sell setup. We're going down, and we will probably get all the way to the bottom here, after which we're going to go back up, right? So coming down nicely, way back to the low here. So there's a sell setup there. We'll be looking for that sell today. Back to the low, right? So go back to the 1 hour. And you're getting a nice flag for a sell. That's a sell setup. Let's see if we get that trade today. End short under the low here is what I would do. I'll put an end short under the low here. Come on. If they break out, we'll be in that trade. On New Zealand, this one is going sideways. We're expecting more downside, but it's pretty much consolidating at the top there. So I'll be careful. We don't have a sell setup. We'll have to just wait. What you're getting is some consolidation here. So that is nothing as yet. They can probably still do this for a while. Break the top, then come back, or break the top and go. So we really don't have any trade set up in it. Aussie Yen, probably one more downside. You're consolidating here. So if they consolidate here, it's one more downside, and then we'll look for the upside, because this is going to be a running flat. That should be a running flat, similar to the number of running flats we have on the yen pairs, which is the Aussie Yen has a running flat, and I think Euro Yen has a running flat. So watch those running flats for upside. Pound Swiss, just going sideways, right? We're going sideways. We probably still, do this for a while, and then upside. So you don't have any good trade setup in that. New Zealand Swiss. New Zealand, yes, New Zealand Swiss is kind of going sideways here, see? This will probably go back up to the upside. This breaks out. Patterns like these tend to break out and go upside. Very rarely you find this drop like that. That's a running flat. If we think this is a running flat in here, if you think this is a big running flat, we should drop. We already broke the low, see? We already did 1, 2, 3, broke the low. So if this consolidates here, you're looking for upside. And it is consolidating. So that's more of an upside structure. New Zealand CAD. Where this line came from, let's see. Oh yeah, we've got it there. We're looking for a big running flat here. Put it on the 1 hour. No, not as yet. We don't have the buy set up as yet. This could be the start of the buy. Either they might make a deeper correction here, drop and then go. This line is, I'm just assuming that is where it's going to be. We don't know that that line is there. Cat Swiss. Upside. This is making a flat for a sell. Can we retest this low here? Possible. If you get that sell set up, you should go for it. And then move the stop so that if it goes back up, let's say they do this. It breaks, come here and go back up. Well, you'll take break even in the trade. And then look for the buy. Copper coming down, we really don't have a trade set up on it as yet, right? Because we have this move up, we've got this, and we're coming down here. We'll wait for the up move and then sell, right? Wait for one more move up and then we look for the sell setup. US oil, okay, if you get a flag here, if you get a flag in this area, that's a sell. We might be able to look at that as a running flat. I don't see it as a running flat, but that is possible. For sell setups, let's look on the 1 hour. Sorry, I'm on the 1 hour. Let's just zoom into it here. So if we're going to sell, I want to see them make a flag here or so before you can sell that. So wait for a flag, and if we get a flag today, we'll get a sell setup. Can it go higher? Well, it will have to make a correction here. Any buy setup will have to come here, come back here, and then go. So you probably get a corrective structure up, a smaller one there, and then this would be a buy setup. But a small flag for the next 3-4 hours, a sell setup. UK oil, same thing. Natural gas, look for short-term sells. Back to this low. Okay, we broke down yesterday. Told you about this one. Put your entry order for the sell. It came down. They went up first, and then they came down. They were here. So we're very close to this low. Not the best trade. Even if they do this, they could go back up there. So I think even if you get the sell setup today, you have to be careful. But if we get a buy setup, if we do get a buy setup, trade it back to the top. Right? If you get a buy setup in here, go back for the trade to the top. Just wait. The sell setup is there, but it's not that the great sell setup. You're getting a sell setup here. Take the trade. See? Take that trade down. S&P 500, you're getting a sell setup right now, but it's short term. You're trying to get a sell setup here short term, but because we have this, I think we're going to go back up there. Look for a flat like that. And then downside. Right? So unless they consolidate quite a lot here, then you get one more drop, but you will still get this. It's still get a running flat. And then downside. So even if you get that sell, it could go, but the pattern will become a running flat in the future. Up for downside. Next. Kind of going sideways. Right? And we don't have any setup. Just let it finish and then we'll see. 8200. Back to the top and then down. This one is probably going to give you that spike up here. And then we're looking for downside. Nifty. Yep. Nifty is consolidating, so you probably have to be very careful. There's a chance. We have to see what this does. This could go down a little more, right? So let's wait and see. We don't have a setup. If you get a flag first, sell it will work. If not, just wait because you're in a bigger consolidation. It means I'm more inclined to believe we're going to have an out move here. An out move like that and then come down back. More like this. So let's wait and see. Tesla, look for a buy. It's coming down, but like I said, if you want to sell it, you sell it to this level and then you look for a buy. Amazon, look for buys. We're getting consolidation and then buys. Let's see. Okay, this one looks upside but corrective, which means we're going up to come down. Let it go up some more. This is buys. Buys should be ready here anytime. Right? Either like this or with the breakout. Reliance, look for sells. It's going sideways, so they'll probably consolidate here and then down. Bitcoin. Okay, so we broke the low again. We're in this down move here. Wait for this to go up, make a flag, and then go for this move. Right? This could come back down here if we make 1, 2, 3, then downside. So let's see if we get this straight today. It's going up, so wait to see if you get a flag. If you get a flag, you can buy. Remember, this is a short-term consolidation. If they stays in this consolidation, they will make one more move up. And after that, it's anybody's guess. Okay, so we didn't go up, we came down. That's good. Question is this just a flat? If that is a flat, then we have a move up, a flat, a move up, a flat. We'll probably get another move up. Right? If that is not a flat, then let's assume this was your running flat. And this is the top. Then this downside with a consolidation here will totally break down. So I think we wait and see if we get a consolidation. There is total downside. If not, they're just going to go up one more. Probably go up one more, and that's it. So Let's see if we get any setup here today to trade. Downside, this was good. This dropped. We told you about this. Remember, I told you this pattern, you want that sharp move down. Well, you pretty much got it. See? Of course, it's better if it breaks the low. It's always better when it breaks the low. So wait for this to come now and break the low, and then look for the upside. Right? We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. Look for the upside. This came down too, so we are pretty much in this pattern. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. Right? We're in this whole thing here. Come back here and then look for one more up there. I don't think this one is going to fall. It's possible, depending on how you look at this correction. If you look at this correction to this point, that this is all the correction, then this could go more down. If you get a flag here, sell it. It could go at least this much down if that is real, or at least breaking this low. So you can get another one down before we go up, because this is going to be just a big consolidation. ETH, this was easy. You had that sell. You had this sell, you might get another sell here. Can it go up? Well, you'll have to wait for this to go up, reverse, make a flag, and then go, just like this flag here that you saw yesterday. Dash, more downside. I think a lot of them had more downside yesterday, and they still have more downside. So you get another flag, you sell again. Sorry. Yep. Okay, this one is coming down nicely for you. Came down, you probably get a little more here, and then you get this trade to the upside. So a little more down here, and then you're looking for the upside. What do you see? Let's see if it comes to this level. And then look for this trade. It's going down a little more. So I think if we get back to this level, we get all the way back to the low. If this thing goes right back to this low, then we're only buying. This would be a flat for upside. Right? But if they come here, if they break before we break the low, if you break out of this one going to the top there, you'll come back here and then go. So let's see if they break out, you go for the buy setup. That's a small trade, and then you're coming them back before they go. But if they don't break out and they come to the bottom, then we'll just take off. So let's see which one of those do we get today. Tomorrow we're going to know which one, right? ADA, look for a buy setup. This is starting to give you, this one will go here. Don't buy this breakout. It will probably go there, give you a running flat, drop, and then buy. Right now it's kind of going sideways. Did we complete that running flat? No, not as yet. We haven't got this. Now we're getting this. Let it go down back and then look for buy. Then look for the buy setup. You'd say, what if this is the one that will go? What if then it has to go up here, make a flag, and then you buy. Right? But I don't think, see this correction, then you can buy. See this here, then you can buy. But we don't have that setup. I think we're going to go one more down. I think we're going to go one more down before we go up. So that's it. The rest of them we just do in our trading room. It is pretty long, but I managed to go through really fast. Tomorrow I'll try to do it faster if I can. You can select the parts you want, the part you actually want to trade, the analysis you need, and watch it. If you have time, watch everything. It will help you. Please share it. Thank you very much. Have a good trading day. Bye.